Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 15, Duchess, Toya, and her royal court. This is the season finale. I guess, they only got 15 episodes in this season. I guess they couldn't get any more stuff that they want to put out, so that's fine. It is fine. Um, If you are new here, welcome, 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 welcome. We do TV and movie reviews here. We do. Sit back and relax. And if you are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, all right. And I want to be appreciative because we are up to 200 subscribers. That's what I'm talking about, people. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, 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 yes. 200 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am very appreciative of it. And if you are new here, consider subscribing, child. Consider subscribing. All right, let's get in this mess. And I do mean mess, okay? All right, so they go over all of the conflicts that were on Married to Medicine this season. Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly, they have squashed their beef, square up hoe, and security, yeah, they done squashed that. They done reconciled, and they agree to a disagree. Okay, that's what they're gonna do. Phaedra and Dr. Heavenly, they couldn't squash their beef because Phaedra hightailed it on to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, and we're gonna see if the ratings improve when Kenya leaves, because that's the reason why they had to get somebody else, because the ratings dropped. Well, and the rating didn't drop. We don't know, but they ain't really have nothing to work with when Kenya wasn't there. So we're gonna see if she can pull it up. I don't think so, but we're gonna see. So she hightailed it out. She ain't on Married to Medicine anymore, and this is the last time I'm gonna speak about Phaedra. Okay, thank you. All right, so Quad and Latesha, they haven't squashed their beef either. Okay, we'll see what the future holds with that. All right, so Toya is meeting up with her event planners for her Bridgerton anniversary party. Okay, and the budget is $25K. Now, within this $25K, she want a pig with an apple in his mouth on the table, a feasting table. That's what they called it. She want horse and carriages. She want a harpist. She want a garden. She want candles everywhere. She want everything. Okay, so within this $25K. So we'll see what happened with that. So they go over the guest list, and the one of the event planners saying, "Do we need security?" And so Toya was like, "Hell yeah, we do need security." So Greg and Latesha go out to eat. Greg said, "I've been hurt by this group lately," and Latesha was like, "Well, we got to talk about whether or not we're going to what's the name? Latoya and Dr. Eugene's party." And so, but she said she met up with Toya, and Toya asked her, what does she want to be a part of this group? And so Latesha was like, I never beg to be a part of a group. If you don't want me, you don't want me. And so she was just like, so, and I said, well, I totally agree. But in the confessional, she said, it's not right to ice me out because of the decisions my husband made. So you want to be a part of the group then? Just say it. Just say it. You are and you need to let them know. I'm upset that you iced me out, and because the decision my husband made. It's okay. It's okay. So Dr. Greg said they coming at the men are coming at me about everybody want me to do something, and he said, "Well, let's see what everybody else does." Well, what everybody else gonna do? You the problem. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. You the problem. You won't have a sit down and talk with King, because King is okay with talking with you, but you ain't okay with talking with him. So yeah, you the problem is you. Okay, thank you very much. And so Latesha was like, "Well, do you not trust the group?" And then he said, "The group is a shit show." I said, "No, you the shit show. You the shit show, okay?" And Tisha know it too. Tisha know it. She know it. You is delusional.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Right. You delusional. Okay. If you want the group to solve your problems, you got to solve your problems. And so Greg in confessional said, "I don't like to run away from a problem, but I don't feel good about leaving, and I don't feel good about staying." So it is what it is. So everybody's getting dressed for the party. Dr. Jackie and Curtis are practicing their dance and getting dressed. So is Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. They're getting dressed and practicing their dance too. Now Dr. Scott, he trying to look like Prince, so he crawling on the floor with this purple suit on, this purple lesbian Victorian suit, and yeah, he crawled on the floor. He got this little wig on it didn't look like Prince, but he now the suit kind of looked like Prince, but the wig didn't look like Prince. But he crawling on the floor, trying to act like Prince. He dig, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. Yeah, and so Dr. Contessa was like, "What in the purple rain when doves cry is that mess?" Okay. And so he put on the white suit. That white suit suited him better than that purple suit, honey. Okay. So then Toya she thought Bridgerton was real. Okay.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Okay.
And my day is ruined.
Dr. Eugene was like, "It's not real. This was made up." He said it's just fantasy. And then all the songs that had fantasy that came to my head, it's just a fantasy. Image in a magazine. That's Guy, for those of you that don't know who Guy is. That's Teddy Riley and Guy. And then then the other song came to me. Yeah. When you walk by every night, talking sweet and looking fine. That's what it was. But anyway, my ADD was going, but when he said it was just a fantasy. And so Toya Faith look cracked. Oh my God, no. So they talk about the guest list, and they said they don't know if Toya and not Toya, Latesha and Dr. G are coming because they didn't RSVP. But then she says, "But we have a special time slot for them to come. It's between 8 and 9. And then everybody else, Quad and King and Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon supposed to come after 9 until to the end of the party. Now, so if they don't know if they RSVP, then okay, so when did they tell them that they got to come between 8 and 9? I mean, did they just call them up, be like, "You coming? Okay, well, you got to be there here between 8 and 9 because that's your time slot." When did they say that? So I think this was all made up. They already knew that they were coming, and they already planned all of this. I don't believe 1 second of none of this. Okay, I think they already planned this. Okay, because how you gonna have you? Because if that's the case, if they didn't RSVP, then King and Quad and Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon could have came at 8 o'clock. Okay, they could have came at 8 o'clock. Since you ain't know if they're coming or not, why to have them come at 9 o'clock if they ain't gonna show up anyway? See, this some bullshit. Anyway, I'm not. This is too much for me. Anyway. So Quad and King are getting drilled. Quad said this is the first time we're gonna be with the group since, and then King said since I assaulted somebody, and King, I don't think that was a good thing to say, but we're gonna leave that alone. And then Quad was like, they tried. He tried to file the incident report on you. And so King was like, well, you started the fight. Then you gonna file a police report? You started the fight. I agree with that. And so King was like, in the confessional, was like, it's very disappointing for one black man to call the police on another black man when we could just have a conversation. I agree with that also. Okay. I agree with that also. Okay. We could have just had a conversation. Anyway, people are arriving to the party. Toya and Dr. Eugene, Cecil and Dr. Simone, Dr. Mimi and Steve. Steve said, I felt like Django. I got my chest all out. Got my chest all out. And he didn't have his chest all out. I don't know if that was the Victorian era, but it was cute though. He had his little chest out, and he had his little chains on and everything like that. I don't think that was none of that Victorian era. But Dr. Mimi was really cute. She was really cute. She looked like she understood the assignment. Her husband did not, but you can. I don't hold nothing past Clevelander. Okay, so poor Eugene and his little toe. Dr. Simone called him Dr. Limp Along. Dr. Jackie and Curtis show up, and Dr. Contessa and Dr. Steve arrive, and everybody looks lovely. Toya said, yeah, everybody looks lovely, except for, somebody who said the dress is more like a quinceañera dress instead of a Victorian dress, and that was Dr. Simone. But it was cute though, so I wasn't upset with it because it was cute. Okay, it was cute. I'm a pink girl, so I like it. Okay, so but it did look like quinceañera though. Okay. It did. Okay. So then the lady comes out and hands out the Georgian Chronicle True Report. And I am upset. Okay? I am upset that they hand out this piece of paper and they talking about Dr. Heavenly, but Dr. Heavenly ain't there because it ain't 9 o'clock. I'm mad. Because they said Dr. Heavenly, Dr. that she is in everybody's mess, but she don't talk about none of her business. Okay, and I wanted her to get mad about that. And she said that, and it said that Quad came back with a new man, but everybody's obsessing her ex-husband, and everybody was like, no, we ain't obsessing about him. And then they said Curtis' hand was around Dr. Heavenly's waist in the picture and not around his wife's waist. And so Curtis was like, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. And Cecil was like, yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie. And Dr. Jackie showed the picture to him in the confessional. He was like, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing. So Dr. Jackie said this picture was AI. And he was like, yeah, this picture was AI. Whatever. And then it said the outspoken Latesha thinks that she can fit in with this group of women, but there's always a target on her back. All right. Always a target on her back, okay? So, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Dr. Greg, I'm sorry. And Latesha show up. Dr. Greg looked like he is the Black George Washington. Okay. Okay. And Dr. Mimi said in the confessional, here comes the mess. Okay. He said that one and that two stepping messy mess. I said, ooh, ain't you they friend? Okay. Here come the mess. Anyway. So Latesha read her own part as about on the Georgia Chronicles that, is always a target on her back. And she had the look on her face like, ain't that some shit? Okay. But anyway, so Curtis pulls Dr. Greg aside and pulls him with the group of men. And he said, can we have a sit down with King to talk about you and King's relationship, how we can move forward? And Greg said, I'm open to it. I said, okay. And then Dr. Greg and Latesha has to leave, and Dr. Contessa was like, oh, so you have to leave? You're not allowed to stay? And so Dr. Contessa, they gotta leave. And so Latesha was like, yeah. And so Dr. Contessa was like, well, what do you want to do? Dr. Contessa. And so she was like, well, I would have liked to stay. And so Dr. Simone, because she do production now. She do production. Pulls Toya to the side and said, listen, they telling her, Dr. Contessa telling her that she trying to get them to stay. So Toya and Dr. Simone go up there and she said, Quad and King and Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon are arriving, and you don't want to see them, anyway. So you should leave. And Toya was like, y'all created this mess anyway. And so Dr. Greg said, time heals all wounds. So let's give time a chance to heal these wounds. And Toya said, thank you. So they leave. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon arrived. And then so Toya had to get her royal court together. So the royal court consists of Cecil, Simone, Steve, and Mimi, Contessa and Scott, Curtis and Jackie, and Heavenly and Damon. Dr. Heavenly almost fell down the step. Okay. And then
a few moments later,
King and Quad finally show up. And then they finally come down the stairs. And then Toya and Eugene come down the stairs. And Eugene make a little speech that, you know, when he graduated medical school, he was coming to Atlanta to sow his royal oats. And but when he was in Michigan, he met his wife at some spot in Michigan, and he brought his wife down. He brought his soon to be wife down here, and the rest is history. Okay, so that's what happened. 18 or 16. Well, he said 18 years ago, but they've been married 16 years. So 18 years ago, that's what happened. Okay. Anyway, so the men go talk to King, and they asked him, was he willing to have a conversation with Dr. G? And he said, I'm open to it. I mean, but he was always open to it. And the ladies asked Quad, was she open to having a talk with Dr. G and Latesha? And she was like, no, I'm not interested. And Toya was like, well, then you asking us to choose. And Quad was like, you ain't got to choose. You ain't got to choose me. You can choose her or whatever, you know, whatever. And so Toya was like, well, we've all made mistakes in this group, including King. And so Quad was like, well, what has my man made a mistake about? And so Dr. Simone said, well, he did take the bait. He did take the bait. And so then,
no, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Dr. Heavenly said, if you allow a man to disrespect your wife, then you a fucking bitch. Oh.
This is fucked. This is not right. This is not cool. This is fucking bullshit.
Oh, Heavenly. Dr. Jackie in confessionals talking about shh. So Quad was like, he my past, and I'm all about my future. And Toya said in the confessional, she was like, Quad is never going to let anybody come between her and this group of friends. She is not going to let anybody come between her and this married to medicine paycheck. That's what she's not going to do. Okay, that is it, baby. She ain't gonna let her anybody come between her and this money. So Dr. Simone said, we going back to a fractured group. Quad said, we've always been a fractured group. Dr. Heavenly said, yeah, but we ain't never had to stagger nobody in to this fractured group. So they dance and it sucked. Okay, the people missing dance steps. They didn't know what they was doing or whatever. They were making up dance steps or whatever. And so once it got done, they got that DJ. Then they played some hip hop music, and that was it. Okay, so we'll see about this reunion. Give me a thumbs up, like and share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.